guys? I'm gonna keep the car talk today short, sweet, and to the point, very concise. So, my knees feel like crap. My hamstrings feel like crap. You're still kind of cramping. Not bad, but still cramping. So, I'm gonna try to play it safe. If my knees feel good enough for a full leg day, that is the plan. If not, then a very short but efficient hamstring day is in the works. But either way, we're gymming. Either way, legs is getting hit, not skipped. So, but man, I mean, walking up the stairs, sitting, sitting down, sitting up is all sucked today. My knees have just been terrible today. So, hopefully that is not the case by next week. Cause typically that's what it'll be, is like it'll start and it'll last about a week. So typically the first leg day, that's an issue. I kind of have to take off. And then the following leg day, typically I can at least do something. And then I'm typically back to normal for a while. It's a never ending battle with my knees. So I think that's all I have to say. I'll see you guys at the gym.
Walked into the gym and they got this sucker. Look at that. Got some Built bars, the best bar in the game, probably. My personal opinion. All these energy drinks and protein shakes. Now, this is dope, man. Look at this sucker. What the heck? No. No. Nah, these things are goofing. With the cereal about it. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Ah. We'll get the leg day done one way or another. Knees hurting or not? Oh. Ooh. See if we can't do some light leg press. All right. Got it set pretty light. Ooh. The only bad thing is to start. Oh. 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 Ooh. Let's move on to something else. Ooh. Start right and see how it feels. Ooh. I think this will be the last set. Let's just drop set. Ooh. Oh. Oh, crap. That was good. Took some calf raises. One more. Just some single whack. Whew. I think that's it. See you in the car. All right. Just like that, the workout is finished. So I do want to say, and maybe I'm not the best person to say this because I literally skipped last leg day because of my knees. But I think tonight goes to show that even if you have bad knees that bother you, knees that definitely need to get checked out, but if you have knee problems, you don't have to skip leg day, right? I skipped it last week because I could just definitely tell, without a shadow of a doubt, in my mind from how the warm-up felt that going through with doing the cardio was probably not a good idea. But today, I could still tell, like, okay, no squatting's going to happen today. Probably no sissy squats, because those kind of screw with my knees. Not much, but they can if my knees are hurting bad enough. Probably no traditional sled leg press, because I know when my knees are bothering me, that thing is a nightmare to use. So I know those are probably out of the question, but I know that typically the hamstring curl doesn't bother my knees. I know that the silver leg press doesn't hurt my knees as bad as the sled, the traditional sled one. So, took a chance, tried it, felt good, went very wide on it today. And then even went out of my way and did some single leg. Went a little wider, did some single leg, got a really good leg pump, got a really good quad pump. I know for a fact, I mean, this is just obvious, but that the hip adduction and abduction machine does not require my knees to in any way move, right? You sit down and you move at the hips. So I know I can do those. Typically, hamstring curls are not an issue at all when my knees are hurting. Calf raises, obviously. I mean, if I go heavy on that machine, it kind of feels like almost it gets loaded on top of my kneecap. It's like kind of causing a weird pressure on my kneecap. So I got to be careful about going too insanely heavy, because normally I do 3 plates, not 2. But like, that was a great workout. I'm happy. My knee is this knee, not even the one that I got diagnosed and know isn't great, but my so-called good one that's been hurting a lot lately. It's like, that's the one that's bothering me. That's the one that's hurting, which is fun. But we got through the workout and my knee didn't explode, so that's always good news. But I mean, just, there's always options, right? If you know that you're not gonna, I know for a fact I'm gonna be fine tomorrow, right? I've been doing this young enough that I can tell I'm on the way down from the knee pain, because it's happened a million times. Like I said in the first card talk, it will spike up randomly like one day. Typically, it just depends on like if I went for like a run or a jog, played basketball, something a little harsher on the joints. Then typically the leg day following any activity like that, my knees are a bit weak, they feel unstable, they feel compromised in some way, shape, or form, and I don't want to end up injured. So, I can just tell it's not happening. It doesn't feel safe to do it, even if I went light. But then the leg day following, which would be today, it's like my knees are still typically hurting, like they're still recovering. I need to get checked out. But I know that as long as I play it safe, not do too many movements that are going to require my knees to have a bunch of strain on them, I can still get a good pump, get a good leg workout in, and go home. I would not say that today was a bad leg day by any means. It may have been 40 minutes, so maybe not, an insanely long workout. I mean, I have a video of me doing a 900 some odd pounds on the leg press, back before my knees started hurting. So am I pushing that kind of crazy rate anymore? Unfortunately, no. At some point between now and then, I screwed up my knees. And I mean, that's just what it is. I can't undo it. But I can train through it. I can continue to train to make my knees stronger and to continue to make them feel, better, more stable, so that this happens less and less, because that's kind of what's been happening. When my knees first started hurting really bad, started bothering me, this way started causing concern. I skipped leg day for probably 2 months, 2 or 3 months. Just did not do it, did not risk it. I could hardly walk up the stairs in the morning. I could hardly get up and get down. You know, it was terrible. At 20, this has been an issue for a few years now, so I'll say 22, 23. To have that kind of knee pain, to have those kinds of issues is insane. And Jake, I was terrified to start putting, weight other than my body weight on them because I didn't even feel like they could handle my body weight. And then over time, I started to kind of hate not being able to train them. I didn't want to start losing size. I didn't want to start losing strength. So I started hitting, a very, very light single leg hamstring curls, very light single leg extensions, very light both leg extensions, reverse sled pulls, reverse walking on the treadmill, stuff like that. And I kind of started to feel better. So then I started doing leg day once a month. And what I'd do is I'd go as hard as I could, and then they'd really freaking hurt, and I would not train them for the rest of the month out of fear. And I was like, okay, well, clearly going, holy crap, I feel good today, and it's leg day, and then pushing the weight I used to push was not, just not happening. Loading up 600 something, 700 something, 800 something, it just depended on the day on how my knees felt, but somewhere in that range of either severely close to my max weight that I was using at one point to like 600 something at the lightest on the leg press. It's like, it wasn't a good idea. I should have eased back into it, but I would just get so excited. Leg day used to be my favorite day because it was my strongest lifts. It was my, I love leg day. I still do, despite the pain, despite my knee issues, despite sometimes having to do a day like today where it's very light and squeeze and just trying everything you can do to get a pump without aggravating my knees. Like, I still love leg day, but I did it wrong, and I probably screwed them up even worse, especially in the long run. And now I'm trying to do it right, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to work my way back up into weight. I'm actually, the more I work up weight in like the leg press and the extensions and get more and more comfortable, and I'm adding sissy squats back in and stuff like that. My plan is to eventually get back under the bar and start squatting again because it's been a while. But just body weight squats right now, just that movement, my knees walk up a lot and they hurt a lot. So it's like, okay, I know that it's probably not the best time to hop under a bar, even if it's light. So I'm not chancing it. I don't want to get injured. I want to work my way back up to being able to at least train with the exercises I used to train with. Not necessarily the weight. I may never get back to that. But I want to get back to using the sled leg press over the silver one, using the silver one when and where I want to hit what it hits. Doing front squats, doing back squats, doing lunges, stuff that bothers my knees now, I want to start working back into. So we'll see what happens. If my knee feels good, I used to love goblin squats, whatever they're called. But I actually have a variation I love to do at Cuba, the gym we were just at, where I'll put a box next to a cable at its lowest setting, and I'll put on the V handle with the rotating handles so I can kind of clean it into that position and then do cable versions of that squat. And those things hit different and they feel phenomenal. And I hit those once in a while even if my knees aren't feeling that great, just because they don't bother my knees too much. I don't know if it just has to do with the way the cable tension is kind of pulling against you at an angle instead of just straight up and down. But I do like those, and I have yet to do them on the YouTube channel. They are rare and far between right now because of my knees. They used to be every leg day, pretty much. At least anytime I was hitting quads, I loved them. They kind of replaced barbell and front squats for me for a long time. But point being, you can still get a leg workout in, even if you don't have if you have joint pain, if you have knee issues. Now, but just do it right. Do it right. If you get injured, work your way back up to your old weight. Because that's the thing, your muscles might bounce back. Mine did. Your ligaments and tendons don't. And that's where I screwed up. All these ligaments and tendons in my knees are just probably, I'd bet money they have a million micro tears in them and are completely screwed up. And I know for a fact in both my knees, because I got them both x-rayed when I got this one checked, and they said it had tricompartmental osteoarthritis. They didn't find any of the other one at the time, but they did tell me that I had somehow managed to not fully tear, but to stretch out my MCL and my MCL and my LCL, which are the other two ligaments on both sides of the more well-known ACL. So I already know that the ligaments in the back of my knee are trash, but if I had done things right, they'd probably be healed by now. But so if you get injured, take it slow. Yes, your muscles, they're gonna feel like you're ready to go, and that was my mistake. Going up 600, 700, 800 pounds on the leg press for my first movement on a leg day, because man, my knees are feeling good, my legs are feeling strong, and my ligaments and tendons were not ready for that kind of stress again. And so it's just re-tear and re-injure after re-tear and re-injure of these ligaments. And I don't know for sure. I've been meaning to look, because I have old measurements written down of how big my quads were and stuff. I've been meaning to, and I probably should, measure my quads and see if they've lost size. I know about 6-7 months ago I did that, and they actually hadn't. They've maintained their size, but I just, obviously training has changed a lot, because of my knees. So I need to check, because that's the one thing I don't want. It's fine if I lose some strength and have to sacrifice some strength to get back to training the way I used to, but I don't want to lose my mobility. I don't want to lose. What was I saying? I'm fine with losing strength, but I don't want to lose size. On my quads. So I want to add size. They are not very big, so I think that's all I have to say. Oh, so got a text while I was at the gym. Very interesting. I told you, Brandon has a tendency, good old gym bro, of skipping at least every other leg day. He texted me, a glorious text even, and said that Friday is payday for him. It's payday for me too. He wants to go up and train legs at the muscle bar. That means we're going to have a really good leg press, really good hamstring curl, really good extension machine, a really good calf machine, a really good belt squat, and a brand spanking new leverage squat machine at our disposal. I don't care if my knee is busted through the front of my leg. Completely, just obvious, it is gone. I am getting a workout in at that gym. That the last time I was there and hit legs, that belt squat felt fantastic. I hit 4 or 5 on it, with my knees kind of feeling iffy. The leg press felt great. The hack squat felt fantastic. That leverage squat, they just got like a week ago. They posted it on the Instagram. So him sending me that text kind of got me hyped for Friday already. I'm hoping that I didn't do myself dirty. That I did right by myself, and that my knees aren't going to be hurting by next leg day, or at least not more than they typically do on a leg day.
which is like kind of popping here and there, but not like full on hurting. Think they're gonna explode. Oof. There's a totaled car on that trailer. Anyways, but next leg day, we gonna go back to the best gym in our area, good old Muscle Bar. Get a good leg pump up there, and I'm looking forward to trying a leverage squat machine for the first time. I've never gotten to try one. We've never had a gym in the area that's had one. So, and I mean, even when I travel, let's just get this straight. Hotel gyms and condo gyms typically suck. But even when I travel, I work out. I've not been fortunate enough to have like even a good hack squat machine while traveling or anywhere in the area. I would say the best hack squat machine used to be at my hometown's gym, Stilvo's gym, and they got rid of it. They got rid of it for what ended up in its place? They had a hack squat machine, and at one point, when it disappeared, the leg press got moved into its spot, and they got a new. So where the Smith machine is now, they put a really cheap. Looks like you bought it off Facebook Marketplace for $100 just to get rid of it. Home gym style looking squat rack, and no one used it because they have the massive, really nice gym power rack right there, and the really nice Smith machine. And so they got rid of it. And I mean, they really got rid of a amazing hack squat machine to acquire a trash squat rack that lasted like 2 months before they got rid of it and put the Smith machine where it's at. So it doesn't make much sense to me, but never wrote, So I'm excited to use that hack squat machine because that thing felt phenomenal. The leg press there feels phenomenal. I've never tried a leverage squat machine before, so I'm excited, very, very excited to see how that feels. I'm praying that isn't one of the few, well, I shouldn't say few, one of the machines that it bothers my knees, like, no matter how I try to use it. Because there are definitely certain machines where it's like, no matter how I adjust it, no matter where I place my feet, no matter how I attack it, just bothers my knees, right? I'm hoping that this will be one of the few machines, kind of like the silver leg press at Cuba, kind of like the belt squat at Muscle Bar last time I tried it. That it's one of the few machines where it's like, holy cow, this thing feels fantastic. No joint pain. Let's just squat out some reps. That's what I'm hoping for. So next leg day will look very different, and I'm very excited for it. But enough about that. That's a while away. I will be honest with you guys, I greatly debated filming today just because of my knee pain. I kind of was on the way to the gym, and I kind of sat there and thought, do I even, before I started the camera for the car talk into the gym, I thought to myself, do I even want to record this? Because chances are I'm going to do the same thing I did last week day. Get on, hit the extensions. It hurts. Don't want to risk it. Go hit cardio. Do I really want to upload a stupid cardio video of me talking for 20 minutes again instead of a leg day? And so I almost thought about just putting a post on the YouTube and being, sorry guys, no video today. And then I was like, no, don't be a pussy. Go in there, say how your knees feel. Come up. If they don't feel good, you know what to freaking do to get past it. There are ways you can hit it that don't bother your knees, because you've done it a million times. And, talk to myself into turning on that camera and filming the car talk at the beginning of this video and hitting some legs. I'm glad I did. So the hams are cooked right now. One movement's all it took, but those were great, glorious free sets of hamstring curls. But enough about that. I have a few minutes left of this drive, and I'll be taking a shower and going to bed. But I will see you guys
tomorrow for back bicep. Sounds like a good time to me.